How's it going, guys? This is Jason, and welcome back to Magic the Gathering Arena. In this episode, we're going to be doing another standard event. This time, we're going to be using a Simic ramp deck. This one created by 9 Soy Milk in a recent competition. We're going to be giving it a try. And some of the staples of this deck, we've got Hydroid Crassus, which provides draw power, life gain, and a threat all in one. We've got Nissa, who shakes the world. It'll give us a bunch of mana ramp, as well as creating threats every turn. And Gilded Goose, which is sort of an early game mana ramp, and also provides survivability as a blocker and a food creator. So let's see what we can do with this deck. 3 mana, I like to see that. We've got Gilded Goose, we can do turn 1 if we pay 2 life. Leafkin Druid, potentially turn 2. Hydroid Crassus for later. I like it, let's keep it. We've got a Scryland, probably for turn 2 or 3. Yeah, let's put that Gilded Goose out right away. And then, potentially, we could just put Leafkin Druid and the Scryland out next turn, depending on if we want to pay a food. Not sure why he attacked with that, knowing that I could block. Hey. So this is clearly a red aggro deck. We'll see if it turns out to be a Cavalcade variety or not. So I think we're going to do Leafkin Druid. Yeah, we'll put out the basic land so we can just pay 2 regular mana for Leafkin Druid as opposed to sacrificing a food. And we'll just keep them both as blockers for now. Probably the subsequent turns, we're going to want to start creating more foods with Gilded Goose. I have a feeling as an aggro... Okay, it is a Cavalcade variety of aggro deck, so... we're definitely going to want to have some life gain available with these foods, so... It's fortunate that we have a food producer early on. Okay, so... We could put out Paradise Druid to threaten his Tin Street Dodger, although he could just start paying 1 mana for it not to be blocked. I think we're going to do our Scryland for sure. Let's see what we have on top. Nissa, fantastic. We can get Nissa out next turn. That's going to be something that diverts damage from our life pool. For this turn, we can either create a food with Gilded Goose, or we can put out Paradise Druid. I'm thinking Paradise Druid, because it has hexproof, and so anything else that he has with haste, we don't have to worry about him playing removal spells or something to remove blockers. And we have plenty of time to create foods with Gilded Goose. Let's see what he does. Does he have more 1/1s? Does he have another Cavalcade? Does he have like a Chandra? Krenko. Oh, okay. That's gonna be an issue. We need something more than our Paradise Druid to block that to prevent him from attacking. Yep. So here's the 1 damage for this. We could actually just destroy Tin Street Dodger with Paradise Druid, and in fact that may be the thing to do. So next turn we're getting Nissa out for sure. We have the mana for it. We'll have 4 of our lands out. We have Gilded Goose for 1 more for our food. So that's coming out, and then that'll create 3 3s that can block Krenko from attacking. I think we should destroy Tin Street Dodger with our Paradise Druid at this point. We need to start removing his creatures, and we have stuff that's going to accelerate us past later on. Yeah, so here's Nissa. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, right, we don't even need to pay the food from Gilded Goose because we have Leafkin Druid. So let's do this. And not only will this block Krenko, it'll also start putting pressure on him. And you know what? We're going to actually create the creature out of Breeding Pool, so that way we can pay 2 mana with Breeding Pool and create another food even in this turn. So this is working out well for us. My guess is that he's going to try and remove Nissa as fast as possible, but that's fine because that's all damage that's being diverted from my life pool. So even if he's able to do that, it's a win either way. If he goes for removal on Breeding Pool, we can just tap it for 2 mana, get another food from Gilded Goose. There's a Cavalcade, alright. So he's got 2 Cavalcades out now. It's getting a little dangerous. Luckily, we do have the situation managed pretty well at this point. He's claiming my Breeding Pool. Ooh. Well. Well, I mean, we're definitely tapping it for mana. So, this guy's going to attack. When he attacks, he gets a counter. Yeah. So he's gonna have power too. We can't even block with Gilded Goose. We might as well tap Gilded Goose for the food. That's unfortunate. And if he does attack Nissa, Nissa will die with the Cavalcades there. I think. It'll be just enough. Oh, interesting. He's using it for mana. Oh, no, I think that was a misclick. Yeah, he should be able to kill Nissa because he'll do a total of 6 damage. But again, that's fine because it's damage that I'm not taking to my life pool. Yep. So he'll get the 2 Cavalcades Actually, it'll do 7 damage, if I'm not mistaken.
Stop. Do not underestimate my force.
Yeah. That's fine. What does this do again? Create a token that's a copy of target creature I control. Yeah. That's not that great at this point. We do have this 3/3 still, which is good. He wasn't able to destroy this, so this is still a blocker. Problem is, this guy's going to be a 3/4 next turn, so we need something else. So I'm thinking Paradise Druid right now. We'll do Paradise Druid, and then we have 2 mana left over for creating more foods or eating foods. I think that's the correct play. This one's got hexproof, so we don't have to worry about it getting removed. And then we're going to keep building up our mana for Hydroid Crassus so we get the most value out of it. Do we want to do Quas-Duplicate at this point? No, there's nothing worth doing it on, so this is our turn. Oh, you know what? I probably should have attacked with Breeding Pool. That was a misplay. I need to slow down. Because if he had blocked, he would have lost his Krenko, which means he probably wasn't going to block. I don't know if you guys can hear, but this is the first episode of Magic I'm recording with a brand new mic that I got for my birthday. So shout out to my sister for getting me this mic. It's really, I think it sounds a lot better. What's going on? Hope he doesn't have a Torbrand. Torbrand would be hideous right now. Chandra, okay. Yeah. Definitely glad we have these foods on reserve because he's going to be doing a lot of damage.
Mostly.
Luckily, if he does attack with Krenko, I think we can kill Krenko, so he might not do that. But he'll have 4 1/1 attackers, which will do a total of 8 damage before we even get to whether we're blocking or not. So another thing is, since he has this Chandra, he can actually claim the Firstborn out of his graveyard and play that again. So it's always possible he'll take my land for that finishing blow. I need to watch out for that. I mean, Chandra's a threat that I need to address. Because actually, Claim the Firstborn can take my Hydroid Crassus as well when I play that. So we probably need to destroy Chandra as soon as we can. Let's just go ahead and resolve all. We're not in danger of dying, I don't think. He's got 1 mana untapped. So obviously we're going to destroy the ones that are not going to be sacrificed at the end of the turn. So let's go to blockers. Actually, I don't think we even want to block with Paradise Druid because he's going to die. So we'll just block. We'll kill one of the permanent goblins. We'll block the others. Yeah, this is fine. No one on my side's going to die, but we are taking some damage. Okay, so now let's do some food stuff. Let's eat some food. And let's create a food. Okay. I think now is as good a time as any to play Hydroid Crassus. Let's go ahead and attack Chandra so that she can't do her -2. We're going to attack with Breeding Pool. And I think just Breeding Pool, because if it goes through, she can't do her -2. If it doesn't go through, it means he blocked with Krenko, and he lost Krenko. So I'd be satisfied with either one of those. I don't think he's going to block. I'd be very surprised if he blocked. Yeah. So really, all I care about with that is making sure he doesn't Claim the Firstborn, because I'm about to gain a bunch of life with Hydroid. So let's see. How many blockers do I need to make sure I have? Because she's going to create 2. We'll have 1, 2, 3. 3 at minimum attacking, and 3 times 2. That's 6 damage. Plus whatever gets through from attackers. So we can survive that as long as he doesn't have too many haste cards in his hand. I think we're going to be okay if we put everything into Hydroid, because we're going to gain life from that too. So let's go ahead and do this. So that's 6? Yeah. And let's... Do we want to sacrifice food? No, it's not really worth it because it's an odd number. So we wouldn't get the extra card out of it. Let's just do for 6. Agent of Treachery, fantastic. We can use that on something important. Ooh, what could we use that on? So we're definitely killing... Oh, yikes. There's another Cavalcade. And another Cavalcade! Oh my god, am I dead? He's going to have 3 attackers, 3 times 4, 12. Oh my god. I don't have enough blockers.
Don't worry.
He's got
I
me.
brought company.
I can't believe he had 2 cavalcades in his hand. No. Oh, God. That's so sad. He's not even a quarter of the way through his deck, and he found all 4 cavalcades of Calamity? Oh my god, what is this luck? Good game. That was, statistically improbable. Damn. Alright, well, alright. Let's go again. I feel like our strategy was sound. Obviously, if I'd known that he had 2 more cavalcades in his hand, I would have probably created more life from foods. But, yeah, I just did not foresee him having all 4 cavalcades before he even got 15 cards out of his library. How do I feel about this hand? We've got Leafkin Druids for turn 2, Risen Reef turn 3. I like it. We've got some pretty good mana ramp. We've got draw power coming in. We've got Voracious Hydra for once we do have all that mana in place. We've got a Scryland turn 1. Let's keep it. Hello. Another Hydroid, okay. Not Hydroid, Hydra. Let's do a Scryland. Another Scryland. Do we want that? I think we're good on land for now, because we're going to have 3 land, and then we have mana producers as well, so I think we can pass on that. Turn 2, we're doing Leafkin Druid. Turn 3, Risen Reef. And we don't even need to pay 2 life for our breeding pool, because Leafkin will give us an extra mana. Esper. Interesting. I wonder if this is a Doom Foretold sort of stacks deck. Let's do Leafkin Druid, since it's the only thing we can do. So far, we haven't seen anything. It's possible he has a Thought Erasure. That's something pretty common with this color scheme. What is this deck? Reveal yourself. Teferi. Okay. Is he going to bounce my Leafkin? If he does, I'm just going to play Risen Reef. I'd be fine with that. Yeah, that's fine. Risen Reef comes out. So, still could be a stacks deck. We don't know yet. Do I want another Leafkin? We've already got 2 in our hands. Oh, it's not an option. It put it in my hand, that's right. So we have 3 Leafkins available. Could be trouble if he has a board wipe, which this color scheme might with a Kaya's Wrath or a Time Wipe or something. So... Oh, okay. Well, luckily Narset does not affect Risen Reef in terms of my draw power, because I'm not technically drawing a card, I'm putting cards into my hand or on the battlefield, so... That's fortunate that Risen Reef, the language of its text doesn't say draw a card. So, I'd like to protect... excuse me, I'd like to protect Risen Reef if I can. Golden Egg, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a stacks deck. I expect to see Doom Foretold pretty soon. Which means I need to get other permanents out on the field other than these Risen Reefs. Which means... I don't know if I want to play the second Risen Reef because I'll probably have to sacrifice one if he has a... Yeah, I think I'd like to keep this for in case he has a board wipe. I can regain some of my lost card advantage. So let's put out 2 Leafkin Druids. That sounds good to me. One that was already revealed, and another one. Oh, that's right, and these actually trigger my Risen Reefs. Okay. Yeah. Agent of Treachery, fantastic. Well, let me think, what bombs does he have that I could use Agent of Treachery on? Actually, maybe that isn't that effective against this deck. I might be able to Agent of Treachery his Teferi, and that could be good. Let me just take Narset down a peg, so that if he decides to use her -2, she'll die.
I must stay focused.
But yeah, Agent of Treachery, Teferi might be an option because Teferi makes it so that he can cast that Dance of the Mad spell during my turn, during my end step, and that can be pretty devastating. Just looking ahead to what I assume he's going to do for his endgame. I don't think this deck that he has any bombs aside from, like, the Doom Foretold Dance of the Mance combo. Yeah, there's Dance of the Mance. So, yeah, Agent of Treacherying Teferi might be the way to go.
Here goes nothing.
Mortify. Okay, there's my Risen Reef gone. The fact that he did Mortify there makes me think he does not have a board wipe in his hand at the moment, because I think he would have board wiped with me having 3 creatures out. Do I want to do Agent of Treachery now? I think I do. I think I want to take Teferi. So let's go ahead and do that. Yoink. And then you know what the fun thing is? Next turn, I can bounce Agent of Treachery back into my hand. With Teferi. The very Teferi that I just stole, I can bounce him back into my hand if he doesn't destroy Teferi, and then use Agent of Treachery all over again. I'm looking forward to that. Agent of Treachery is such a... Oh god, I hate playing against it so much, and that's sort of a good testament to how good it is. Is he going to take down Teferi? Oh, he's destroying Agent of Treachery. Right, that makes sense. Yeah. To be expected. Dovin's Acuity. Alright. Interesting. I think pretty soon might be a good time to play Voracious Hydra. We've got a pretty good card advantage. I think we need to start making a threat that he can't ignore. So I think that's what we'll do. What are we looking like for mana? We can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's good. And then we can just double the counters. We'll get a 12-12 out on the field. Something that he needs to address, or he's going to die very quick. Let's just make Teferi even bigger.
This might be a bad idea.
And I love that we have 2 more Hydras in our hand. That's fantastic. So even if he board wipes, we can then Risen Reef, get back some more card advantage, ramp up to even more Voracious Hydras. We're looking good. The main thing is he has a lot of options in his hand still, so we can't count him out. I do expect to see a Chaos Wrath sometime soon, if he can find one. Doom Foretold's not going to help him that much, just because I can sacrifice my Leafkin Druids. Basilica Bellhaunt, okay. I think we're going to want to get rid of Leafkin. I'd prefer that over Gilded Goose. Yeah, that's fine. And then what can he have for 3 mana left over? I mean, he might have a Mortify. That would be good against the Hydra. But the thing is, because I have Teferi, he can't play it during my turn. So, I think we're looking pretty good for doing a bunch of damage here. Why is there a pause? Oh, there's a pause because he has Golden Egg. And he can use its activated ability. But that's basically it. Maybe he forgot that Teferi prevents him from doing instants on my turn. Because it looks like he wanted to do something there, but he couldn't. And just realized that Teferi was there. But yeah, I'm considering not even doing anything else. I think I'm just going to leave the field as it is and make him deal with this Voracious Hydra before I play any other threats. Yeah, I think that's the way to go, because I do, like I said, I do anticipate that he has board wipes. And so I don't want to overcommit my field. Right now, we're winning if things stay the way they are. So let's just keep it the way they are and keep cards in our hand. We're probably going to have to chump block his Basilica Bellhaunt if he attacks Teferi. Even if he attacks Teferi, it's kind of fine. Like, he won't be close to dead. I'll take down half his loyalty counters. Yep, okay, so there's a Mortify. I think he wanted to do that Mortify during my turn, but he forgot about Teferi. So... And now I expect to see Dovin's Acuity again. So we can draw more cards. Yeah. This is fine. Let me just take a look at his graveyard to make sure... Yeah, he doesn't have anything in his graveyard that Dance of the Mance could even use. So he needs to get Doom Foretold out so he can start sacrificing his own artifacts. Do I care about blocking for Teferi? I don't think so. I think I just want to let this go through. And then we're just going to cast another Voracious Hydra with double counters to make him remove it again. And we'll just repeat the process. How much mana do we have now? 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, sounds good. We'll make a 16-16. Assuming my math is right. Yeah. I prefer a 16-16 over an 8-8 that just destroys his insignificant creature. We're just going to make him use all his removal on Voracious Hydras.
Don't worry, I got this.
There's the Chaos Wrath. Okay, so now I think on my turn, I'm going to put out Risen Reef. Potentially Gilded Goose. Oh, okay, so he's making me lose my Teferi. Well played, well played. Yeah, we're going to put out all this stuff again. We'll do Gilded Goose, Risen Reef, and Leafkin. And then we'll have Voracious Hydra in our hand. Oh, you know what? We might do Gilded Goose. This is a risk. So we could start rebuilding our card advantage with Risen Reef, or we could just do Gilded Goose and pump Voracious Hydra really, really high to get even more attack damage on him if he doesn't have another answer. And then just use Gilded Goose to be sacrificed. I think we're going to go with card advantage. That's probably the safer thing to do here. Because that plan can fail very easily if he has another removal in his hand. Yeah, give me that land on the battlefield, thanks. Let's do an Elemental so we get to do that again. Another Risen Reef, fantastic. I think I might keep this one in my hand in case he has another board wipe. And for now, we're just going to... Do I want to do Gilded Goose? I think I do. I can't decide. You know what? I think we'll keep Gilded Goose in our hand. This is enough to potentially generate more removal from him. Yeah, I'm sort of on the fence, because if he has a board wipe, I don't want to put too much on the battlefield, but if we don't, then... Oh, he's making me discard cards now. Alright, well, Gilded Goose, goodbye. I think we need Risen Reef out there, the second one, because we need to put... We need way more cards in our hand and on the battlefield. Now that he has Doom Foretold out, we need to sort of catch up. Oh no! Another Basilica Bellhaunt? Okay, well, the good thing is that he's tapped out. So the question now is, what's more advantageous for me keeping, Voracious Hydra or Risen Reef? I think Risen Reef, because having two of them is going to give me potentially draw power that'll help me catch up. Whereas Voracious Hydra is just sort of a single shot chance at getting damage in that he could very easily remove with one card. Risen Reef has the potential for him not to be able to catch up. So let's discard Voracious Hydra. That's the logic I'm going with currently. We're going to get rid of our Leafkin. And yeah, hopefully we can draw something... Oh, good, a Gilded Goose. So that'll be sacrificed when Doom Foretold comes around. Again, let's do Risen Reef again. I feel better about having two of them out now that he has two creatures that he's going to have to lose if he does board wipe. Cavalier of Thorns. Oh, I'm going to quasi-duplicate those Risen Reefs. Because he only has one unrevealed card in his hand, and the odds of that being a board wipe are low. So let's make another Risen Reef. Let's gain as much card advantage as we can before he discovers an answer for these. We've got two Cavaliers of Thorns now. Is that 3? Oh my god, it is! We could do another quasi-duplicate and get 4 Risen Reefs out there. I think that's the way to go. Let's just gain as much ground as we can before he removes these. Even if they're removed, we'll get our value out of them. Let's discard a Gilded Goose. And now we've got a bunch of threats that can come out if he does decide to clear the field. But yeah, this is... 4 of them out is... it's looking like it's going to be sort of insurmountable card advantage, even with his Doom Foretold there chipping away at my stuff. And we can actually just afford to let these Basilica Bellhaunts just go right through with their attacks if they do. We're going to have Cavaliers of Thorns out next turn. Whether he board wipes or not. Yes, it is a board wipe. I don't even care. We got like a full hand, basically. And now comes the Cavalier of Thorns. Oh, we got a discard. Okay, so his thing does proc. That's a little unfortunate. And he can do Dance of the Manse with all mana to give him 4/4s, but how many things does he have in his graveyard? He's got Oath of Kea, Golden Egg, Dovin's Acuity, and now Doom Foretold. So he'll get like 4/4/4s if he does Dance of the Manse. That's not great, but we do have Cavalier of Thorns, which can defend. Let's get rid of Paradise Druid, I think. We want Gilded Goose, so we can have life gain if we need it. Another land, fantastic. Let's do Cavalier of Thorns. And we definitely want Gilded Goose out. Ooh. Oh yeah, we want this. Castle Garenbrig will help us get our big creatures out faster. And can we do another one? Yeah. We definitely want Gilded Goose out in case he does do Dance of the Manse and gets Doom Foretold back on the battlefield. We want something we're able to sacrifice when that effect comes around to our side. And yeah, we do have enough for another Cavalier of Thorns. Let's do that. Did I forget to use Castle Garenbrig's ability? I think I did. Oops. Well, we have that for next time. We do have enough for our Paradise Druid. How many board wipes do we think he has? He's gone through 2 already. I think the odds of him finding another one are low. Let's do another Paradise Druid. So will he do Dance of the Manse this turn? That's the big question right now. Looks like he's looking in his graveyard, so I'm thinking yes. He has exactly enough mana to get the 4/4 creature thing out of it, so yeah, that's exactly what he did. Well, luckily I have Gilded Goose and or Paradise Druid to sacrifice when that effect comes over. Oh, is he going to destroy Gilded Goose? Probably is. Yeah. So I have to sacrifice Paradise Druid. Yeah, I forgot about Oath of Kea coming onto the battlefield. That's a fair point. Luckily I have these Cavaliers of Thorns. And I doubt he's going to want to board wipe with all his 4/4s here. Although, he might board wipe if he finds another Dance of Manse. But that's 2 cards he'd be reliant on for that, so it's sort of a long shot. So yeah, at the moment we're playing a bit defensively, obviously because we have 2 creatures versus his 5. Non-land, non-token, so I have to sacrifice Paradise Druid. Oh shit. Actually, do I want to do that? Maybe I want some food. Yeah, let's get a food, since we have free mana out of Paradise Druid before we sacrifice it. Yeah, why not? Hydroid Crassus, oh my god, yes! Okay, so here's what we need to do. Do we want to do Hydroid right now? I think we do. While he's tapped out, and while we're not going to be forced to discard a card from Doom Foretold's, we're going to do Hydroid for all the mana we have. And actually... oh my god, we can use Castle Garenbrig to get him even bigger. Let's do this. We're going to do 2 Castle Garenbrigs. That's 12. Oh my god, look at this. 13. He's going to be a 13/13. Fantastic. And we're drawing, what is that, 6 cards? And we gain all that life. And we get another Hydroid, and we get Nisa's. I think we're in a really good place right now. Let's go ahead and Temple of Mystery, since 1 land isn't going to make a difference at this point. Let's put that back. Where are we looking? Oh my god, my library! Oh, I need to end this quick. Hopefully he doesn't have any answers for Hydroid, because my library is only at 11. We can't draw many more cards. We need to sort of finish this. Do we want to attack at this point? I think we want to keep these guys as defenders for now, and let Hydroid do the damage. Real question is, will Hydroid survive, or does he have a removal for him? Even if Hydroid doesn't survive, we can do another Hydroid, but if we make that Hydroid too big, we'll draw out our library, which will be an issue. So right now I'm just sort of hoping he doesn't have an answer for Hydroid immediately. We're probably going to do Nisa next turn to start creating more blockers and potentially attackers if we start overwhelming the field. Looks like he's definitely looking at Hydroid, but he hasn't done anything yet. That's encouraging, because I would assume that if he had something, he would play it immediately. He's going in for the attack with everyone. That makes me think that he has a board wipe, honestly. Makes me think he has a board wipe, and he's just getting the last bit he can out of these creatures before he does so. So... yeah, we might as well block. Let's... No. Let's block the 4/4s. We're going to block everything except Doom Foretold, so that way, in case he just has a Dance of the Manse and expects a lot of stuff to go into his graveyard... No. Let's block the Doom Foretold. Which one do we not want to enter the battlefield again? Probably Oath of Kea, so let's not block Oath of Kea. So that way, if he does have a Dance of the Manse, he won't get the extra ability out of that one unless he board wipes. So, let's do this. We'll take 6 damage, totally fine, given the amount of life we have. We didn't lose any creatures. And now, does he have a Dance of Manse? Basilica Bellhaunt, okay. Well, that's fine, we'll lose a land. That might have just been an act of desperation, because the fact that he's playing a creature now makes me think he does not have a board wipe. He would have done it after the board wipe if that was the case. Let's get rid of a Castle Ventress? No, Forest. Castle Ventress we can use to scry. Another Doom Foretold. Shit. So we're losing our Cavaliers of Thorns. That's fine because we're doing big damage with Hydra. We just need to get more permanents out so that we can catch up with Doom Foretold. Oh, he's only got one, right? We destroyed the other one. So let's remove... We only lose one Cavalier of Thorns. What do we... Oh my goodness, Agent of Treachery. What can that get for me? Actually, you know what? Better than Agent of Treachery might be... Voracious Hydra? Because we can soup that thing up to be huge. If he doesn't have a removal for it, then that can basically team up with Hydroid and kick his ass. So I'm thinking that, because right now I don't see anything in particular that Agent of Treachery could take that would be useful. So I think we're gonna do the Hydra. Hydra's good because we don't need to draw cards when we make that big, unlike Hydra and Crassus. Yeah, let's take the action. And that's also a card that we didn't... it's basically like we added a card to our library, which we sort of need at this point. It's my turn, eh? Let's play a land. And I think we're going to attack, and then... Let's see, we're going to attack. I think we can just attack past his creatures. We don't even care. We're just going for damage at this point. He's on the defense at the moment. He's probably going to chump block Cavalier of Thorns, take the 13, because there's nothing he can do with the flyer. And then I think we're going to go for Voracious Hydra with just all our mana. Oh, we could do Nissa, too. I think Nissa might be... we could do Nissa, and then we'll have even more mana than we would have before with Voracious Hydra because of Nissa's bonus. So let's have as many islands as we can for Nissa's colorless cost, so we don't waste any forests. We have any non-forest? Yeah. You can be for Nissa, since you're not a forest. Yeah, let's put Nissa out there. And then let's use this guy's ability twice. Where's the other one? Let's just tap all the rest of our mana for this guy. How much do we have? 16, 17, 18, 19, right? 19. Sounds good to me. And we're just going to go ahead and double the amount of counters on him. If he doesn't block this guy, he's dead. Or rather, not if he doesn't block him, if he doesn't have an answer for him. Let's turn a forest... No, let's turn an island. Because I have a feeling if he can board wipe, he will. So I don't want to lose a forest unnecessarily. This is looking really good for us. He needs an answer for Voracious Hydra, or he's going to die. He needs a board wipe, basically, because I also have Hydroid attacking unprevented, since he has flying. So a board wipe is basically what he needs at this point. There it is. Chaos Rat. And we're going to take another Voracious Hydra back, now that Cavalier of Thorns is dead. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to play that again. He's used, I think, 3 of his board wipes. So we're looking pretty good right now. He does have Doom Foretold, so we're losing Nissa, which is acceptable, because we have another Nissa. Is that another Doom Foretold I just saw? That's annoying. How many cards do we have? Yeah, we're doing Nissa. We're going to destroy Narset, so he loses his Doom Foretold when it's his turn. So first things first, let's do that. Same thing as before, we want to attack specific lands so that we don't waste any of the forest bonuses that we get from Nissa. Let's go ahead and do that first, Nissa's ability, before we play our next creature. Let's take a... yeah, let's take an island again.
Behold, nature's true power.
Let's kill Narset, so he's losing his Doom Foretold. And then at most he'll have 1 Doom Foretold for next turn if he plays that. And we're going to lose Nissa. Actually, just as a buffer, in case he has some kind of removal. No. Scratch that. We're just going to go all in with Hydra again. Same as before. I doubt he has many more removal options. Shit. I need to undo all of this, because I forgot about Castle Garen Briggs' ability. I want to make sure I take advantage of that. Alright, let's try this again. Yep. Give me all that mana. This is the power of a ramp deck right here. Insane amounts of mana being pumped into these XX spells. And now what do we have? We have 18, so that's a 16 for the X. Hope my math is right. Just sort of eyeballed it. Yeah, looks like. And then we'll just double the counters. He needs an answer for Voracious Hydra. If he plays Doom Foretold, he's going to get rid of Nissa, but he needs something else for Voracious Hydra. There's Doom Foretold. What else do you have? Really comes down to what this card is. It's a land. I think this game's over. Wow, what a ride. Goodbye, Nissa. And that's game. Is he going to let me go through, or is he going to concede? Yeah, unfortunately, even though he has that land that lets him create a 1/1, my Hydra has trample, so it's not going to matter. Hello? Are you gonna let me attack? Don't tell me you're running out the clock. That would be sort of a dick move. It's not possible for you to win right now. You have nothing to draw. Is this... Are you serious? Is this person really gonna just run out the clock? Okay. Good game. Oh, man. I'm very happy with that game, because I feel like that really nicely represented the power of this ramp deck. We had 34 trample Hydras on the field because of the amount of mana ramp we were getting. Let's continue on. I think this deck also has mass manipulations, so that's another thing that we'll have lots of fun with when we have ridiculous amounts of mana like that. I've seen mass manipulations just make people concede out of demoralization. Yeah, there it is. We have one in our hand. Also an Agent of Treachery. I don't know about this hand. Yeah, I think we're going to need to mulligan this. We've got 3, like, late-game bombs and one 3-cost that doesn't even work unless we have something on the field, so we need to mulligan this. That's not going to work. This is way better. Gilded Goose, Leafkin, Paradise. Lots of early-game spells, so we can afford to just have 2 land. We don't have any islands, but we don't have any creatures or spells that need blue mana, so I think that's okay for now. And we have Paradise Druid for if we do get those. Let's keep this. And what do we want to get rid of? Probably Voracious Hydra. Actually, I'm reconsidering now. Let's get rid of Voracious Hydra. We can find other uses for our mana later on. Hello. Gilded Goose, turn 1. Turn 2. Probably depending on what he plays. If he plays nothing, we might do Paradise Druid. Oh, shock, alright. So it's looking like potentially another red aggro deck. Let's go ahead and put Leafkin Druid out so he can be a blocker that potentially won't die. Next turn we'll do Paradise Druid. Fervent Champion, yeah. Glad I played Leafkin instead of Paradise Druid with those 2 out there. He can block one of them always. Yep. Yeah, it's a shame he destroyed my, it's a shame he destroyed my Gilded Goose, because that would have been nice creating foods for me. Okay, so we actually have enough to eat a food during his turn, so we'll probably assign a blocker, block one of his Fervent Champions, and then eat a food during his end step. There's a Cavalcade, alright. 3 Fervent Champions, wow, so they're going to be 3 3s. No, that's not right. They're all going to be 2 2s, because they're buffing each other. I can't destroy any of them at the moment because they have First Strike, but once Nissa comes out, we can start making 3 3s that can block them. This is a pretty good combo he's got going on right now. We're taking damage from the Cavalcades, they're buffing each other, they've got First Strike. Oh, we did go with a 3-1. I don't think that matters. It would be the exact same result as if he made 3 2-2s, because I'm still taking 4 damage. So that was inconsequential. So, we'll take 4. We're going to eat the food for 3. And then, on my turn, we'll be able to get Nissa out, and then have a 3-3 blocker.
We will not
And hopefully Nisa's probably not going to survive that long, but she will serve to divert attention from my life total, which is important against the Cavalcade deck. And if he doesn't destroy Nisa, then we have mana advantage, getting double value out of these forests for when we cast Voracious Hydra or Cavalier. We're probably going to want Cavalier out to block Chandra's Spitfire, so... Maybe I don't want to... Oh, stupid Cavalcade's doing damage right on top of my forest. So I think Nisa might be dead here, but we can at least destroy one of his Fervent Champions.
Enough! Cease this aggression.
Yeah, so Nisa's dead no matter what. Let's at least block one of the Fervent Champions. Since it doesn't matter which one we block, since Nisa's dying anyway, let's block the one. Really doesn't matter, but it's just make it slightly harder to kill the forest if he does have something. Yeah. Agent of Treachery. I don't have any blue. I have one blue for my Paradise Druid. That's about it. Okay, so I think Cavalier of Thorns is the way to go here. We have exactly enough, and we need the reach because Chandra's Spitfire is going to destroy us unless we stop it. So that's really the only play here. And what can we get back in our... Yeah, I guess we'll take Breeding Pool. Why not? Actually, we can do Agent of Treachery next turn, I think. Let me count the mana. It depends on if we lose any creatures. So Chandra's Spitfire is definitely dying here, because we need to block it. Yeah, look at this thing. We're gonna trade, but that's totally fine. I'd much rather have him with no Chandra than me take that damage. Yeah, it's not even possible for me to let it through because I'll die, so I need to block it. Thankfully, it doesn't have Trample. But, yikes. He also buffed his Fervent Champions and there were 3/3s? Man. This is looking bad. Do I want any of these cards? Let me see the battlefield again. I can block all his creatures, but I'm still going to be taking the Cavalcade damage, so I'll be down to 2. What's going to save me here? Agent of Treachery can take away Cavalcade on my turn. Do I have mana for it? 1, 2... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Damn. You know what? I need a land. I need this Breeding Pool, I think, if I'm going to take away Cavalcade, and that's the only chance I have for survival. I'm going to have to pay 2 life, and it's going to be extremely close, but I think that's what I need to do in order to play Agent of Treachery. I hope I'm not mistaken about that. So, Agent of Treachery. Yeah. I think we need to. We're going to take away Cavalcade of Calamity. Oh, shit. I forgot that these Fervent Champions buff each other. Damn it. I think that was a misplay. Because if I only have Agent of Treachery available... You know what? I think we're going to take a Fervent Champion in that case. We can take 2 more damage from his Cavalcade. We'll be down to 1, but we have blocker... We have... Oh. We'll only have 1 blocker in Agent of Treachery, and then we'll die. So basically, we need to take this Dwarf, which seems like a waste, but that's the only way I see to survive. Unfortunately. Because if he attacks with all these guys, I'm dead with 3 life. So I need to take either a creature or Cavalcade. If I take Cavalcade, he'll still kill me by doing 3 damage with his remaining creatures. So I need to take the Dwarf. It's the only play I see, because it's untapped. It's such a waste, but that's all I see. And it also presupposes that he doesn't have anything in his hand that allows him to do more damage. Yeah, so that's not doing damage immediately, so that'll help me survive this turn, I think. He didn't attack, alright. Hydroid Crassus, oh my god, I can gain some life. Oh wait, no, I can't because of this Planeswalker, so I need to destroy this Planeswalker before I probably want to play Hydroid. What I can do, though, is I can play Voracious Hydra and kill one of his Fervent Champions. And then... I'm still going to be dead. Damn. Yeah, I'm dead unless I kill 2 of his creatures or remove Cavalcade. Because he's going to do a minimum of 3 damage with his Cavalcades. I don't think I can actually survive this. I think I need to attack his Tybalt. Let's just see if we can... I think the only way that we're going to survive this is if Tybalt dies or he blocks with some creatures. So let's just attack Tybalt and see what happens. We're going to maintain the minimum number of blockers we need. If we do get Hydroid Crassus... This guy has Vigilance, right? Yeah. So we're going to do this and just see if he'll let Tybalt die or if he's going to block with any creatures. He's probably going to block Paradise Druid with Fervent Champion, so that was probably stupid too. Oh, I didn't attack with Paradise Druid. Oh, interesting. He's letting him die. Oh my god, that means I can get Hydroid out and I can gain some life and I might actually survive this. Let me just double check that I'm right. I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And also I can use Castle Garenbrig to get even more than that, so I think I can actually survive this by gaining life from Hydroid. Let's go ahead and do this real quick. I have a blue available from Paradise Druid still, so this is fine. Can I tap out fully? I'm going to take 3 damage, plus 2... No, plus 3. So I'll take 6. How much do I need to gain from this? I would need to gain 5 life. I don't have enough mana for that, so I can't tap everybody. So let me just... We'll keep the Forest untapped. How many blockers do we need? I'm running out of time, too. I only have 1 timeout left, so I need to... He's going to do 3 damage with his creatures. So I need to gain a minimum of 2 life. And then that means I need to have blockers for all the creatures. So... Let's just... I don't think we can do Castle Garenbrig. I think we need the creatures untapped for that. So let's just go ahead and do this. And this will give us 4. We have exactly enough, I think. We're going to gain 2 life. We're going to have enough blockers for all his creatures. This is literally exactly what needs to happen for me to survive this turn. We're at 4. We can take 3 more damage. Yeah, I think we literally did exactly what we needed to do to survive 1 more turn. Watch him just have like a Slaying Fire and just kill me instantly and make all my thinking for nothing. Oh, great. Okay, it was a land. So let's see if he attacks. He's going for the attack. So we're taking 3 damage. And we're going to be at 1 life. We need to block everyone. He's probably going to buff his creatures with those with the Castle Embreth, but he can only do it once. Yeah, here it is. Dwarven Mind doesn't have any abilities like that. Yeah. Okay. So the Fervent Champions are dying from Hydroid Crassus. We're going to lose a Paradise Druid to one of the Fervent Champions, and we can destroy his 2-1 with my Forest. Good. Sounds like we survive. And now his Fervent Champions can no longer block each other. We're looking good. We need another method of life gain, though, because his last remaining Fervent Champion is going to kill me unless I... Oh. Oh my god, Voracious Hydra can kill it. We're doing that. Can I play Nissa and Voracious Hydroid, though? Or Hydra, that's the question. Nissa will give me 1, 2... How much mana do we need for this to kill the thing? We need... We only need 3 mana for Voracious Hydra. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do Nissa. We've got enough, I'm pretty sure. Now we get double value out of our forests. Let's create a forest. We're going to attack, because our forests have Vigilance. We're going to attack with everyone. Not with our Leafkin Druid, no. Everyone else. And then, we're going to play Voracious Hydra with our remaining mana. And let's actually just tap our mana first. And we have 6 available. Fantastic. So he's even a threat. Unless he gets something to kill me next turn, we've got this. Because of our army. Fights a creature we don't control. Yes, please. So it all comes down to what he's going to draw. He's top decking. What is this card? Is it something that can hurt me in any way? Oops. Oh my god, we did it. Good game. Good fucking game. Holy shit. I can't believe it. If he had drawn a Shock or like a Tin Street Dodger, I would have been dead. But we did it. It all came down to that last card. God, I love it when it comes down to the wire like that. Fantastic. What a great game. I love it when a single card separates life or death. It's my favorite kind of game in Magic. Man, it's going to be hard for any of these other games to stack up to that one. That was pretty good. Alright. I'm liking this hand. We got Gilded Goose, Leafkin Druid, Risen Reef for some draw power. Quaz Duplicate on Risen Reef, which is a combo I love. We're going to need another blue mana for that, but we do have Gilded Goose able to give us a wildcard mana if we sacrifice food, so looking good. Let's keep this. Gilded Goose turn 1. Turn 2, we can either do Risen Reef right away if we want to sacrifice food, or we can do Leafkin Druid. I think we're going to do Leafkin Druid so that we can reserve that food for Quaz Duplicate on Risen Reef. What do I think this is? Not really sure. Too early to tell. Let's go ahead and do Leafkin Druid. Oh, you know what? We might want to put out Castle Vantress so that we can play Risen Reef next turn. I think that's a better idea. Because we don't have an island at the moment, so we can't guarantee Castle Vantress is going to come out untapped later. I wonder if this is like an instant-style deck. He hasn't done anything yet. It makes me wary to play Risen Reef, to be honest, because I don't want it to get countered. So I'm thinking about doing Leafkin Druid instead. Yeah, let's try it. There's definitely a pause. Is he going to counter Leafkin Druid? I doubt it. But it's enough to know that there's a pause, honestly. He's definitely got something he can play. Unless it's like a growth spiral that he does during my end step, I'm going to assume he has a counter. Yeah. Because if it was like a flash creature, he would have played it. What do you have? Let's get a land out there. We can do Cavalier of Thorns now. Do I? Maybe I want to create a food with Gilded Goose. I might just want to start creating life advantage while I see he has untapped land. But I kind of want to just get Cavalier of Thorns out there. Let's do Cavalier of Thorns and just see what happens. I want to see if he does have counters or if I'm just being paranoid. I've done that in a previous game. Looks like he's going for something in his hand. He does have a counter. Alright. Damn, so if I had played Risen Reef, he might not have been able to counter it because Quench is based on whether I can pay more mana or not. But we have at least confirmed that this is a counter-style deck. So, that changes how we play. I think we are going to start creating foods at this point and just sort of wait him out until he plays something. Problem is, now that he has 4 mana, he might have things like Nightpack Ambusher or that... He can play that Flash Elf thing, whatever that is. So we don't want to be totally passive, but the only thing I can really play right now is Risen Reef, and I don't want to risk it getting countered until he's tapped out. So I think we're going to stick with making foods for now. We have uses for our mana that don't involve any risk, so I think for now we're going to stick with that. Yeah, Wildborn Preserver, that's to be expected, I suppose, in this kind of deck. Does he have a Brineborn Cutthroat? Or another Wildborn Preserver? He's probably waiting to play something so that he has more mana so that he can buff Wildborn Preserver when he plays the next flash creature he has. Interesting. So I'm thinking he probably wants me to block with Leafkin Druid and then he'll buff his creature when he plays a flash creature. So the thing about that is I can do that, and if he does decide to buff, he'll be tapped out, and then I'll be okay playing Risen Reef. So I think that's the plan right now. We're going to force him to do something, or just waste his attack. And then hopefully he'll tap out when he does do something. And if he taps out... Oh, interesting. I think maybe he was just testing me. Well, let's create foods. Let's start going ahead with our life gain. Just so that if he does amass a giant creature, we'll have a little bit of a buffer. Yeah, so because he's not tapped out, I definitely don't want to risk playing Risen Reef just yet. Let's do a Scry land. And actually, we have enough to do Scry with Castle Vantress now. Oh, good, a bomb. This is going to work well if he does beef up his creatures and taps out at some point. We can just steal them right out from under him. So I like that on top. Yeah, we have options now. We can either create foods and eat them, or we can do a Scry with Castle Vantress during his end step. Either way, we don't need to play anything. So if he does have counters, they're going to waste. Could be he was just waiting for my end step to play a creature that will buff Wildborn Preserver, but we'll just have to see. Brazen Borrower. Interesting, so he's playing the creature. Yeah, so he's going to start attacking from the air, and he's going to buff this guy probably. Get him up to a 4/4. And then he's going to untap immediately since his turn is starting. Yep. He's playing cautiously, but smart. He's making sure not to tap out so that I can't play anything with impunity. I think we're going to have to let this go through and maybe just... Since we know we're drawing mass manipulation, maybe just gain life with Gilded Goose for now. Let's create that food. We can actually eat both foods now this turn. We have enough mana. So he did 7 damage to us, but we gained 6 life, so it's not... It's like a very minor net loss if we can just keep this up. We're going to force him to sort of put more stuff on the battlefield. Yeah, I would definitely like to get him to a point where he's tapped out. But he seems to be playing cautiously. So I can create a food. I can eat a food. That's about it. I probably need to do Scry during his next end step. Another thing I could do is I could start baiting his counters with Quad's Duplicate, because they can even be played from the graveyard with their Jumpstart ability. So let's do that. Let's create another Gilded Goose with Quad's Duplicate so we can even further our food production and survivability. And if he does counter it, we might be in a place to play Risen Reef and start gaining some card advantage. He's letting it go through. Interesting. So I'm fine with that. Now we have twice as many food producers, and we should just be able to ignore his attacks. So this is fine. Is he going to play another flash creature during my end step? There's a Brineborn Cutthroat, yeah. Yep. It's going to be... It looks like he really doesn't want to tap out before my turn. He's just making Wilderness... Oh my god, he's a 7/7 now? Jeez. He's going to start being difficult to ignore. Even though we can make like 2 foods a turn, they're basically entirely covered by his 7 damage per turn, so... We may need to start doing other stuff than creating foods. We can block his Brineborn Cutthroat. I'm not afraid of him being buffed because it's his turn. And we'll take the 10 for now. Ouch. Let's make a food. Make that food and eat that food. Yeah, so this is not really sustainable anymore because of the size of his creatures. Another land? Okay. I feel it in my bones that if I play Risen Reef, he's going to counter it. But do I have enough mana for a mass manipulation if he does counter it? Let me just count my mana real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9. If I play Risen Reef, I'll have exactly enough for 1 mass manipulation if he's tapped out of blues. And we're going to use that on Wildborn Preserver most likely. So I think that's worth it. We're going to bait a counter with Risen Reef. If he does counter it, we're going to play mass manipulation. And steal his big creature. I think that's what needs to be done. Oh my god, he let it through. That might have been a mistake on his part. Or he just doesn't have a counter in his hand. That's always possible as well. Well, now we're going to try Quad's Duplicate on Risen Reef. Now that Risen Reef is out, I'm not worried about chump blocking with these guys against Wildborn Preserver. So let's try Quad's Duplicate. We just need to amass card advantage to sort of outpace any counters he might have. And if he does in fact have no counters at this point, then we need to do this now. Oh, is he bouncing Risen Reef? No! He is. Oh, no. Well, luckily we can play it one more time. We have the mana for it. So let's do that. While he's tapped out. Let's go ahead and do that. And we'll chump block during his turn with one of our Gilded Geese. Oh my god, he did have a counter! It was Quench! No! No! Son of a bitch. And he buffed Brineborn Cutthroat with those spells on my turn. Oh, this is looking bad. This is looking really bad. We need to block him. We're going to take 7 damage still. We need Nisa out, for sure. But, I mean, he's still got all his lands untapped. Oh my god, another Risen Reef! Does he have a counter for this one? If they're just quenches, I don't care. He's letting it go through. Fantastic. Yeah, put that on the battlefield, please. Now, question now, do I want to risk him having another quench, which keeps happening to me, and I have no mana to do anything about it? Or do I just want to put mana into creating and eating food? Can I afford that? I can afford that if he doesn't... No, he's going to play this on during my end step and make this guy huge. He's going to have 2 flying attackers. He's going to buff Brimborn Cutthroat. He's going to be doing 6 damage by air, 5 damage from him, that I won't be able to block unless I want to lose Risen Reef. Because I'm going to be blocking the big guy with Gilded Goose. So that's 11 damage. I'm only going to gain 3 life from the food I create from this Gilded Goose. So that exactly evens out, so that's not worth it. We need to risk doing something else. How much mana do I have available? I think we need to risk... Let's see, if we do Nissa, he could just counter it. If I do 2 Quas Duplicates... No, I'm thinking Nissa. Let's do Nissa. Let's see if it goes through. Does he have another counter? It's looking like he does. He's looking at his hand. If this goes through, we might be okay for a bit, because Nissa can continually create creatures, but... Sinister Sabotage, yeah. That's a shame. It's a real shame. Luckily, he does not have enough blue mana now to cast his Brazen Borrower during my end step. So he's going to have something else in his hand if he wants to buff his creatures. He had an opt, so that buffs them, but at least it doesn't give him another attacker. So, can we survive without losing Risen Reef? I don't think so. I think we need to chump block both his big creatures, which is a shame, because we just got Risen Reef out. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. We can't take either of these guys, so we have to block, and we're still taking 3 from Brazen Borrower. Damn. So, really, our only options next turn are Mass Manipulation, depending on what we draw. Paradise Druid. Paradise Druid's not going to make a difference. We'll have another blocker for his 2 creatures, but maybe we should just bait a counter with Paradise Druid and see if he... Because he only has 2 cards left. Oh no, he's playing Brazen Borrower during my end step for sure. So that'll be enough to kill me. So I need to do Mass Manipulation. Paradise Druid's not going to make any difference because he's going to have 6 damage coming from flyers that I can't block. So I need to do Mass Manipulation now. How much mana do I need to stop this? I need 1, 2, 3 times 2 is 6 plus 4. I need 10. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no! Well, I can afford to take 1 Brazen Borrower hit, so we can leave... Oh no, it's not going to work. I don't think this is going to work, damn. Let me just recount this to make sure I'm not miscounting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah. 9 mana, we can only take 2 creatures. We can leave this guy untapped, and he'll be a blocker. That should help us survive, I think. But we need to take his Brazen Borrower, and then we need to take one of his big creatures, for sure. And this is all assuming he doesn't have a counter in his hand, which is a long shot, given what we've seen so far. So let's just try it out. We're going for 4 for X. Oh wait, no, 2 for X. We're about to run out of time here. So we need Brazen Borrower so we don't die, and we need probably this one because that one keeps getting bigger faster. So, and then we'll have Leafkin Druid to chump block someone. Let's see if he has a counter. If he does, it's over. But if he doesn't, Frilled Mystic. Okay, yeah, it's over. Alright, good game. I did what I could. Man, it's really hard fighting these flash decks, I gotta say. Like, even when we knew they had counters, and we were just making life, or making foods so we can gain life and sort of outlast them, it still didn't work because they can just play creatures during my end step and buff their shit. Yeah. Not sure if there's anything you can really do against these except make sure you draw the cards you need and have more cards to play than they have counters. Alright, that was a good game. Let's go for another one. So far we're 2-2. Breaking about even. I would like to get to 4. But first we must get to 3, as you all know. Gilded Goose turn 1, and then a lot of expensive cards. I feel tempted to keep this because I don't want to go down to 6 cards, and Gilded Goose has mana activated abilities that can continue giving us some kind of value while we wait for other spells or lands. So I think we're going to keep this, just because of Gilded Goose. Hello. Swamp A. Okay, there. So we've got something else to play. Let's get Gilded Goose out there. Turn 2, probably Leafkin Druid. And then we'll be on our way to mana ramp. Hopefully we can get Nissa out early. Can we do Nissa turn 3? I think we can, if nothing interferes with our creatures. This is looking like a Mardu Knights deck. I'm fine with that. Let's get out this blocker. Actually, he's not a blocker because we'd have to block with Gilded Goose as well, and we don't want to lose Gilded Goose. Especially when this guy's giving us card draw. I think card draw... Actually, we want to stop that at some point because we don't want him drawing cards. But yeah, Nissa's gonna be really good for next turn. What's going on? He must have like a lot of options in his hand. He's trying to decide what to do. So we can actually do Nissa and Leafkin Druid next turn, or we can create a food, because the forest that we untap with Nissa will have 2 mana available. Yeah, so we'll let that go through. We don't want to block with Gilded Goose, since that is Menace, we'd have to block with both. Another Stormfist Crusader. Alright, well, this is going to be an issue, because we don't want him having all this card draw. I mean, we are getting benefits from it, but card draw is more advantageous for him than it is for us, because we have other methods of card draw, whereas he's an aggro deck. We want him to run out of steam. So let's get Nissa out just to start applying pressure. And also, will give us a bunch of mana ramp for next turn, where we can start... we might even be able to do Agent of Treachery and steal one of his things. That wouldn't help too much, though, because he'd still be getting card draw. So we need to figure out another solution for his... what do I want to do here? Do I want to do Breeding Pool or Forest? Probably Forest.
Rise, my elemental friend.
Let's attack, and then we'll play Leafkin Druid. I know his deck doesn't have any board wipes, so I'm not worried about playing all my creatures right away. I'll be interested to see if he attacks Nissa or attacks my life total. We are losing life every turn from these cards as well, so that's also an issue. A Hydroid Crassus would be good. I don't think we have any direct removal, but we do have gain control of things. But a Hydroid Crassus would be good because I don't think he has any flyer creatures in his deck, so we could just sort of attacking him with impunity. We do have forests coming out every turn that are attacking him that he needs to start defending against, because I think we're going to outmatch him with damage pretty soon. The main thing I'm worried about is just the amount of draw power that he's getting. I mean, again, we're getting it too, but I think he's going to put it to better use with all the cheap creatures he has access to. If he plays a big threat, we'll probably do Agent of Treachery, just to steal it. But if he plays a bunch of small creatures, then maybe Risen Reef to regain some more, even more card advantage, and mana advantage. We want more... Oh, nice. Very nice. Now he sees my hand, and he got rid of 2 of my mana ramp cards that were... Wow, they were generating 4 mana total, so that was a really good play. Well done. He's trying to go for Nissa. Cool. So... The bright side of that is we're not taking damage to our damage pool, which is good. I think we're going to do Risen Reef probably next turn. Looks like he still has something he can play. Ooh, another Risen Reef. Fantastic. So let's see. We can do Risen Reef right now, and then we can use Nissa's ability on Breeding Pool to play a second one after combat. So let's do this first. Hydrid Crassus, fantastic. So that's probably coming out next turn. We're going to put out a breeding pool tapped. We're going to use Nisa's ability on one of the breeding pools. And actually, maybe I want to keep some of my lands untapped instead of using them for mana, just so we have blockers for these Stormfist Crusaders. He's going to have to lose one if he attacks with both against Nisa if I keep them both untapped. There's Black Lance. He's going to destroy one of my lands by blocking. I'd be fine with that, actually. Let's create a food with him before he dies. Might as well get some value. We can get a bit more life since the clock is ticking down for both of us with these Stormfists. Now, what else can we do? We don't have enough mana for another Risen Reef, which is unfortunate, but we do have enough to eat a food. That's basically it. So actually, I think we're going to lose Nisa. Unless we block with our Risen Reef, which may be worth it, actually. I think we want to stop these guys, and we have a spare. But yeah, right now they're becoming a problem because they're giving him so much card draw. The Menace doesn't help either. But yeah. Another issue, though, is if we do block with both these creatures, he probably, in all the cards he has in his hand, he probably has some kind of removal that can just destroy Risen Reef, and then... Well, actually, no, he'd have to destroy the forest. If he did have that removal, I think he would destroy Risen Reef before he attacked. Because then I wouldn't even be able to block with my forest. So actually, that's not a big issue. Dreadhorde Butcher. That's not good. You know what? That might be a candidate for stealing with Agent of Treachery, honestly. Because that's going to get bigger as he does damage. And it's going to do damage when it dies. I think Nisa's dead here. We're going to let her take Dreadhorde Butcher. Do we want to block this? I think we do. We need to start cutting off this card advantage. And we'll just let Nisa die, but we want this to die. So let's go with this. If he has a removal for the forest, that would be unfortunate, because then we'd lose Risen Reef for nothing. But I'm hoping that's not the case. Embercleave. Oh, no! Well, you know what? I might be able to kill him if I... Oh, no, I can't. I'm not going to have enough mana for Agent of Treachery, because Nisa's dying. No! Well, let's eat a food. Might as well. Get some of that life back. Wow, I did not see an Embercleave coming. Well, at least that thing's dead also. But yeah, this is bad. I'm out of mana. He's got Embercleave on deck. There's limited options right now. I can play another Risen Reef, which will help me get lands on the... I think that's what I need to do. I need to get Risen Reef out there so I can start putting more lands on the battlefield. And then I can just sort of... I'm going to have to tolerate the damage for now that he's going to do next turn. Yeah, give me that forest on the battlefield, please. That's basically all I can do at this point. And just hope we survive until my next turn. At which point we might have enough for Agent of Treachery. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we're not even going to have enough next turn. We might have enough for another Nisa. But, yeah, Agent of Treachery, we need to already have Nisa on the battlefield for that mana ramp. Now he's destroying my Risen Reef because he knows that it can help me catch up. That's a wise choice. Yeah, I'm behind now, and he's about to equip Embercleave to this guy. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is bad. This is really bad. He's about to do, what is that, 8 damage? I don't think it's worth blocking. I think I need to just take the 8. Yeah, I would only be blocking 2 of the damage. So I need to just take it. Oh shit, I forgot he would be buffed in between. Oh god, he's getting buffed every time. This is so bad. Is there anything I can do? I can get a 5 cost out. That's not going to help me against Embercleave, though. Cavalier of Thorns can block one of his hits without dying. So that'll prevent him from getting buffed again. But then he'll be doing 4 damage over top of him for the second round of hits. And that'll kill me unless I block with Gilded Goose also. If I do block with Gilded Goose, I'll be taking only 2 damage, but then this one will do 2 damage also. Also, I'm losing 1 life every turn from Stormfist Crusader. I think I'm just dead here. I'm pretty sure I'm dead. What happens if I play Nisa? Well, we're getting a forest out regardless, because we know we need 5 mana for something. If I play Nisa and I get a 3/3, does that help me at all? This guy has Trample because of Embercleave. Man. Yeah, I think I'm just dead. What if I do Gilded Goose and just make a food and eat the food? Does that help me? I don't know. I'm grasping at straws right now. There's too many possibilities, and I feel like all of them lead to me dying. So let's just make food and maybe just survive. We'll make another three toughness blocker. And yeah, I think the last 2 mana is just going to go to eating that food. We'll just see if we can survive one more turn. All of this calculation was also done assuming he's not going to play anything that affects this attack, which is, the odds of that are extremely low. So I think we're done for here. Damn, those Stormfist Crusaders really made this game for him. Like aggro decks, you normally don't have to worry about them lasting this long, but he just has so much draw power from these Stormfist Crusaders. Yep, so let's block as many as we can against this guy. We need to do... Yeah, we might as well do all of them. I think we're dead anyway, because damage is going on top of these guys. We're already taking 2 from him. So let's block, and then we'll eat a food. See if we can get more life. Here comes a removal spell. Or a buff. Blacklands Paragon. Oh no. He's giving him Death Touch, so all of them are going to die with only 1 hit, and then the excess damage goes right to me. Yeah, I'm so dead. Good game. Good game. What? Are you... I think maybe he doesn't understand how Death Touch works, but... I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure I'm dead anyway. Oh my god, I survived. If he had played Blacklands Paragon's ability on Dreadhorde Butcher, I would have been dead there. Because First Strike and Death Touch, each one of my creatures would have been dead with only 1 damage, and then the excess would have gone over to me. But because he used it on Stormfist, they actually absorbed all the damage from Evercleave. Not like it matters, because I can't do anything. But at least, yeah, it really doesn't matter. Let's do, I don't know, Nisa maybe? Sure, why not? There's literally nothing that will make a difference right now. Let's make, I don't know, Paradise Druid. Yep. Yep. Oh yeah, he does 1 damage, so I'm dead. Alright. Good game. Good game. Yeah, those Stormfists, I think they were the thing he needed to sort of pull ahead of a ramp deck. Alright, let's see what we got for prizes. Uncommons, fantastic. And a pack. That's what I really care about. Ooh, we unlocked a rare wild card and we got gems. Sweet. I was hoping that we would now be on a mythic wild card for our next progression wild card unlock thing, but oh well. So yeah, that's the Simic ramp deck. It definitely, the thing I don't like about it is that they lead to sort of long, drawn-out games most of the time. And that could just be due to me sort of having a lot of options and having to weigh them carefully to make sure I make the right choice, and that ends up taking more time than if you're just sort of playing with an aggro deck that's a little easier to know what the right path is. But one thing I definitely do like about the deck is you get those insane, like, high mana cost spells that we saw, I think, in Game 2, where I had like a 34/34 Hydra, and that is tons of fun when you can get that off. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do mass manipulation during this event, but that's also super fun when you have tons of mana available. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.